Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sunday night at Rev D's house. I am Rev D. So very casual, but my name is Denise Schubert, Reverend Denise Schubert. I am minister of the Spirit. So happy to be here with you tonight. So happy to be here with you every Sunday night. We come together to explore practical spirituality. We come here to explore how to be in life more fully free, expressed, at peace, calm. All sounds kind of trite and silly, but wouldn't it be great if we all could do that? Because we all could do that. If we all could do that, the world would clearly be a happier and more productive place to live. So check in with me for a minute. We are talking about transformation tonight. We're talking about transformation as a potential for human beings to move beyond mere change to actually becoming a new order of being. And this isn't just possible for some of us, it's possible for all of us. And it's my joy to talk about it, especially I talk about it within a certain context, which is a quote that I have loved. I'll show you the quote right now. I have loved this quote for more years than I care to count. And that is that only butterflies can explain how caterpillars come to fly. This was a quote by Werner Erhard in a white paper he wrote about ending world hunger. And it was a very ambitious white paper. And it was a very ambitious and successful project. I don't know that they have to date ended world hunger, but they have transformed many, many lives along the way. And this was his quote at the end of that white paper. And it has inspired me for many, many years. So I'm happy to share it with you. So I'm going to, we're here together for about 45 minutes. Hi, Heather. Hugs to you. Ooh, let's do hugs. I don't know where we were last Sunday. I don't know if my house had sold. Did my house sell? I can't remember. Anyway, my house is sold. So I'm in the throes of packing and getting ready for my 20 seconds of insane courage to divest myself of personal belongings of all types and to put myself into South Africa, into the middle of a beautiful nature preserve for 90 days. So we're on track for doing that. It's looking like we leave the country on March 30th. I relinquish my house, my couches, my dishes, all of it on March 15th. So very, very exciting time. And for me, it feels kind of normal, but I am beginning to see myself through other people's eyes, and they're like, WTF. It's like, what? Who does that? Right? Anyway, I don't know who does that, but I'm actually decided to start a blog, a 90-day blog from day one through the entire experience of Hoedspruit Wildlife Estates and all the people who come and visit me there, which, by the way, you could be one of them. If you have any interest in coming to South Africa, you just let me know and I will tell you what to do and how to do it. It's very, very easy and not too expensive. And 2 weeks of heaven and being together. How great would that be? All right, so let us begin. Let's just take a moment and bless our time together. And we bless. Hi, Robin. Yay. I just got a phone call from a person who I knew in Los Angeles. I've not seen since I left. So I left in 2006. So that's what, 16 years. And she called out of the blue, just like, oh, hi, Denise, this is Andrea. I just heard from my sister, and I hear you're streaming, right? And I said, I am. Facebook. She goes, oh, I don't do Facebook. I said, well, come see us on Zoom on Monday nights. You can come on Zoom. So, hi, Terry Prince, and Melissa. Hi, Melissa Arterberry. How are you? So nice to see you here. Anyway, so it's a small world we live in. When you get on social media like this, you never lose anybody. It's impossible to lose each other unless we really want to be lost. I did know someone once who went off Facebook. It was all kinds of wrong. It was like, it took me a week to find him. It's like, what's wrong with you? I want it off. It's like, well, you just can't go off Facebook. I'm sure some people have. All right, well, let's get started on our evening of transformation versus change of this thing called transcending our human ego and ascending to our human spirit, or to our spirit, and to simply know that this is a journey for all of us, and it's not that difficult. It mostly just takes a yes. You have to just say yes, and we'll explore that in a minute. But for now, join me as we turn within. Turning within simply meaning to turn within to that space and place and dimension within you that is whole and perfect and complete, that is wanting for nothing, lacking nothing, that is perfection personified, nothing broken, nothing missing. You are made in the image and likeness of an intelligence and a beauty and a wisdom that is everywhere present. I can call it God. I truly do not care what you call it. In fact, I might stop using the word God altogether, but let's call it the quantum field of unlimited potential. Let's call it the quantum field of you. Let's call it the quantum field of the possibility of changing, of growing, of transcendence. And so I know that we come together seeking that, for we are all searching for and seeking a greater expression of our authentic self, a greater feeling comfortable in our own skin in this planet we're living on, and to truly navigate our life experiences with elegance and grace. And so I claim all of that for us here tonight, those of us who are here, knowing in this moment that whatever needs to be said, I say, whatever you need to hear, you hear, and that all is truly well. And so for the blessings of this evening, we give thanks, we let it be, and so it is. Amen. Yes, and so it is. Amen. Yes, Heather says, and on YouTube. Yes, we stream on YouTube as well. So, hello once again. Welcome to Sunday night at home with Rev D. Let me just do a couple of things before we kind of dive into. One is I want you to see about Monday nights. So I'm putting up a slide here because on Mondays you are welcome to join us on Zoom. And the Zoom is for us to see each other face to face. And it's at 6 o'clock. There's been, 8 to 10 people join us. It's really sweet and very deep. It unpacks tonight for people if you have questions. And I just gave you the link to the Zoom, link. You can also, let me give you this. You can also go to my website, and on my website you can make, if you want to support the ministry financially with your love offerings and donations or tithes, you can do that. I accept them and I'm happy for them, and you can do that through my website as well. So that's where we are right now. So Monday nights on Zoom. I'm also doing spiritual coaching and counseling. So if you want a one-on-one, you can also book that through the website as well. The book study is closed for now, but look forward to another one that will stream from South Africa, because once I'm in South Africa, which will be April 1st, we can do everything we're doing now, just a different timing. I have to figure out what our timing has to be, because there's, I think we're 7 hours later. We're 7 hours earlier than South Africa. So. All right, so let's see. Anyone else needs a hello from me? No, I've said hello to everyone who's been willing to say hello. Who's not willing to say hello? I'll come back and check in a minute. So I did want to talk tonight about transformation, transformation versus change. I love the quote. I love this quote. Only butterflies can explain how caterpillars come to fly. And let's unpack this for a moment, just to kind of set the scene. Those of you who have been with me for a while absolutely know I've talked about this before, and hopefully it won't be boring for you, but will reignite the power of the message. So caterpillars are very happy creatures. They're land bound, so they're bound to the land. Their whole purpose in life is to eat. So they crawl amongst the plants with their caterpillar friends, and they consume copious amounts of nutrition and energy, and they are very happy with their life. There's really, what would be great? Can you imagine just endless chocolate sundaes or endless pizza or endless conversation with your friends? And at some moment for this caterpillar, in some moment in its life, unexpectedly, it has inside of it an irresistible urge, an undeniable urge to build for itself a cocoon into which it will crawl and be transformed from one form of being to another form of being. And the process of getting from caterpillar to the butterfly inside of the cocoon is, I call it goo time. Goo, G-O-O, goo time. Now, the caterpillar, if you could imagine God coming down to the caterpillar and saying, Miss Caterpillar, I would like to invite you into a greater expression of your existence. I would like you to express more, experience more, have more, do more, be more. And all you have to do to have that is to you already know how, I already taught you how to build a cocoon, put yourself into it, and allow your body to turn to goo. And really, it's not as bad as it sounds, but it's really worth it, because at the end of that time, you will come out of the cocoon you have built, and you will be so beautiful that you are going to fly. People are going to ooh at you and awe at you. Could you imagine what the caterpillar would say if God came and asked the caterpillar to do that? The caterpillar, looking at his very happy caterpillar existence with his friends and his eating and his enjoying the sunshine, would say, no way, Jose, I'm not doing that. How can I know I can trust you? Right? How do I know you're telling me the truth? But fortunately, the caterpillar does not have the option to say no. The caterpillar only does what's mandated. Human beings have exactly the same urge to transform. Do you know what I'm talking about? We have the urge to be different. We have the urge to be different than we know ourselves to be. We have the urge to, and we don't even know what the urge is, right? Just like the caterpillar doesn't know anything about butterflies. So God said to the caterpillar, oh, Miss Caterpillar, will you come put yourself into a cocoon so that you can be a butterfly? The caterpillar doesn't know what a butterfly is, nor do you know who you are transformed. So the unknown qualities of transformation, the unqualified yes it requires of you, the obedience to your inner intuition, it is all quite necessary for you to transform, even though you don't know what you're transforming into. In some colloquial ways, I would say that we just simply get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and then we open, right? If you're tired of the drama, tired of being sad, tired of hating your mother, tired of whatever it is, right? Whatever it is that we're tired of, then we open in ways that we don't open normally, right? So something within us goes, okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm so tired of being this way. I'm willing to be different. That's our yes. And in that yes always comes a cocoon, because we were talking the other night at the book study that when you say to the universe, with sincerity and authenticity and commitment to the universe, I want to be a more loving person, the universe is going to show you where you are not loving. because you have to let go of unloving to become loving. You have to let go of selfishness to become generous. You have to let go of fear to become loving. So it's not as simple sometimes, because the cocoon provides you with goo time. Do you guys know the word I'm saying? I'm saying goo, right? Goo. Like the caterpillar's body turns, something happens to it. It melts and then becomes a butterfly. So in our case, there's no physical melting. You're not going to go into a cauldron, but there is an emotional meltdown of sorts that could be an emotional meltdown or a mental meltdown. But we want that. You do want that, because, I remember so many things have melted me, like gooed me into submission, gooed me into transformation. And I know this is true for many. I'm looking at the names here, and I know many of you are not the being you used to be. You are a different order of being than you were. And I certainly am not, my 40-year-old self and my 70-year-old self are so different. She's in there still. I can tap into her. In fact, I went to a Donna Summers review yesterday at the Performing Arts Theater here in Fort Myers. So I got to relive my 40-year-old self, really quite lovely, through the music of Donna Summers, all that disco. She's dead, by the way. She died in 2012 in Naples, Florida, of lung cancer. Bit of trivia for today. So this process of transformation for us is preceded by a yes. And if you're here, by the way, if you're listening to me in any way, you have a yes inside of you to think differently and to be different. And I've been engaging with a dear friend of mine, and this whole conversation about theology and God. And I just want you to know, really, all of you, that if we're going to talk about God the way my mama talked about God, or the way many conservative religions talk about God, then I'm kind of an atheist about that God as well. I don't think that God exists. I don't think there's a God judging us and watching us and teaching us through pain and suffering and rewarding us after this life. I really don't. I don't resonate to that at all. But I'm a scientist, and I cannot dispute for myself any longer the truth that there is something greater than us that is helpful and on our side and amazingly creative and beautiful. And that you and I, and no human being before us and no human being to follow us, will ever create a sunset or make a baby or grow a flower or heal hate with love. We don't do that. That's not what we do. So, and that power and that presence that we speak of is in us, because transformation allows us to tap into the beauty that is inside of us, the love that is inside of us. And when we can tap into that beauty and love, we are transformed. I'm going to give you this quote from Michael Beckwith's book, Spiritual Liberation, which we're studying, a small group of us are studying. And he says, transformation occurs when identification with the ego self is dropped through a conscious realization of the authentic self. And the authentic self is your divine self. The authentic self is your loving self. The authentic self is your forgiving self. The authentic self is the self that, I don't know how to really take you into that, other than for you to look into the life you're living and to your circumstances and conditions and the things that are troublesome. When God reads the news, I just said I wasn't going to use the word God. If the creator of all things read the newspaper, she would not be daunted by the pandemic. Why? Because the intelligence that created this universe is in charge, and we're so egotistical. So we think that we're powerful enough to destroy the world. We think we're powerful enough to, I don't know, to do anything. And really we have very little power to do any of those things and with any lasting effect. Temporary effects, of course, but God grows trees. So if we destroy the trees, God will grow more trees. That truly, I believe that. Doesn't mean we don't take care of the trees we've got. So, but the important thing here is that transformation is transcendence. So transformation allows you to get past the things that stop you. And I'm really just talking about the places in your life that make you sad, that make you afraid, that make you neurotic, that make you angry, that make you hold love back, that make you push love away. All of those things are not of the authentic self. They are of the ego self. I'm right, you're wrong, they're good, you're bad. This is the only way. This is the right way. It's all ego. None of that is true. Nothing you believe is true. It's just what you believe. And what you believe because you were taught to believe it. You understand what I'm saying? So when you can get underneath all of that, then something new comes. Now, changes can be good. I mean, if you're overweight, you lose 10 pounds, losing 10 pounds is good. However, if you're overweight because you have low self-esteem, or you were molested, or you have PTSD, and you lose 10 pounds, and you don't deal with the issue, you don't deal with the source of that, then it is an incremental improvement. It's not transformation. Transformation is when you get into right relationship with your body from a space of love, and then you get into right relationship with food from a space of love. So life ceases to be about dieting and starts to be about living and loving and giving. And your attention's not on change. Am I making sense? It's kind of deep, right? Let's go. Let's just dive in. Hi, Denise, Gunn, David. Oh, hi, David. Nice to see you. Nice to see you all. So only butterflies can explain how caterpillars come to fly, right? So here's the challenge in our spiritual teachers and teachings. Whoever's teaching you, whether it's Jesus or Gandhi or Mother Teresa or Thich Nhat Hanh or Wayne Dyer, or in this moment, even me, though I don't really hold myself up there quite that high, but whoever your teacher is, they're talking to you about an experience that they have had that they wish to share. And it's quite difficult because I'm going to tell you how I became this woman after being that woman. But that woman, my 40-year-old self, could not have told you about me because she didn't know anything about me. I mean, she didn't know anything about the woman who didn't smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day and didn't weigh 40 pounds more and wasn't suffering in her work and languishing in her marriage. That woman that I was at 40 knows nothing about this woman at 70. This kind of happiness and peace was not available to her. So the question is, and it's a question for all of us, how do we go from where we are to what we know is possible? Because the urge in the caterpillar to become a butterfly happens naturally. It's automatic. The urge to become more is inherent within the caterpillar's DNA. We talked about this last week as involution and evolution, right? That your authentic, powerful spiritual self came with you. It's inside of you already. It's already there. And at some moment, when you've had enough of the ego's nonsense, the jealousy, the comparison, the anger over your childhood, when you've had enough of suffering, you will begin to ask. And that voice, it's this, I'm going to use the word salvation. Salvation isn't something you do at some point. It's that we have within us we have the same urge within us that the caterpillar has. You can change. And it comes like this. It can really, here's how it looks. It's very practical. Something within you tells you that you need to quit smoking. Something within you tells you that you need to change jobs. Something within you tells you that if you don't lose that weight, you're going to be in serious trouble in about 2 to 10 years. It's like an urge. It's like a still small voice within you saying, you can be different. You can be. Just say yes. And when you say yes, here's what happens when you say yes. You will be drawn to teachers, to books, to people, to classes, to spiritual centers, to meditation groups. You will be guided to go to a group of people who can support you and love you while you're in the goo. So the goo stage is, I think it's inevitable. I don't know anybody who has not kind of gone through this period of, oh, I think I liked it better the other way. Like, this way is too hard. I'm being asked to do too much. I'm being asked to love too much. I'm being asked to give too much. So we need people who are willing to, we need a tribe of people who know what we're up to and who align with us in our up to itness. Am I making sense to some of you out there? So my ministry has been not so much about finding God, though I do think that this connection with something greater than yourself is necessary to transcend the ego's tricks and tauntings. I do. But it's not so much about that. It's really more about releasing your inner splendor. Our ministry has been about the possibility of you, that there is more, and that we are, I love Don Miguel Ruiz's conversation about how we're domesticated. Like, we're no different than domesticated cats or domesticated cows, right? That we were born, and then we're born as kind of an unconditioned being, like we don't know anything, right? The baby, when you came out as a baby, you didn't speak English as a baby, right? You weren't a Republican or a Democrat. You weren't a Christian or a Jew. You were nothing. You were like this blank slate. And then everything since was added. Everything you believe, everything you think, everything you were taught, who you think you are, who you think the world is, all of it has been gained through your domestication. But the problem is we don't know that we're domesticated. If we don't know what we don't know, which is that there's more, because you didn't come here to comply to the world's mandates for you. You came here to comply to Spirit's mandates for you, that you have an agenda here, agenda to be loving, wherever your loving takes you, whether it takes you to Africa, whether it takes you to writing a book, whether it takes you to being married and having children, whether it takes you to not being married and being a school teacher. It doesn't, that you have love to give in a certain kind of way. And your job, my job, your job, is to find that in our lifetime, is to find it. And to do that, we have to waken out of the dream that we call reality and kind of go deeper into the dream that we call transformation. So, yeah. So change is improvement. Transformation is transcendence. How do you start? You say yes. You just say, I don't know. I've told this before, and people probably think I just make it up for drama, for the dramatic effect, but it's really not true. I just remember being in a place of knowing that if I didn't change, that I had to change. That's really just what I knew. Like, I had to approach my life differently. I could not keep going the way I was going. And I remember really this kind of on my knees moment. I don't know, praying or more writhing in agony. I'm not quite sure what it was, but where I really talked to the universe, not even knowing what I meant when I did that at that time, of really saying, however, I think I was like 46. I'm 46 years old, universe. I've had enough food, enough sex, enough drugs, enough rock and roll, enough everything. I want you to give me something useful to do. Give me a reason to live out the rest of my life in joy. And I was very serious. And I said, please just deliver me from this and, get me through the goo and take me into a bigger, brighter expression of what's possible for me. And, I'm just here. I bear testimony to that can happen, and it can happen for you. So only butterflies can explain how caterpillars come to fly. So don't think you can see it from where you are if you haven't been in the goo yet. But trust me that there's a moment, if you say yes, that you will become a different order of being. You will come out from among what Michael Beckwith might have called the mediocrity of fitting in with the rest of the world and truly shining your light so that your light touches other people and that you yourself are lit up. Yeah? All right. So let me see. Who else is here? So Terry, Melissa, so great to see you. So again, you can join me tomorrow night on Zoom for a recap, really, of tonight. It's a kind of tonight's one way I talk to you. I can't, we can't have a conversation. You can't ask me questions. You can't share with me what's going on in your life. And I need that as much as you need that. So our Zoom connection is about that. So for those of you who want to keep it simple, just go to join Zoom meeting with my phone number, 479-283-9409. It's very simple. 6:00 tomorrow. So, all right. Well, I'm going to anchor this in prayer for us. Are there any questions, anything else that we need to do for you to feel complete? Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Les, Denise Gunn. So good to see you all here. All right. So let's do this. We do a kind of prayer, an affirmative prayer. The intention of the prayer, our purpose for the prayer is to manifest. Our purpose of the prayer is to make something happen in the visible world. That's the purpose of our prayer. And it comes from a belief that our words, our thoughts, our beliefs, our attitudes are creative. And that we are not victims, but we are creators who create by virtue of the tool that God gave us to create with, which is our minds. And so we already, as a given, we are already divine beings, and as maybe not a given, that we are also creative beings who create with the word. So I'm going to speak my word for and about you and for and about myself and this amazing life we're inventing minute to minute to minute, right? We are always co-creating, always. Every word that comes out of your mouth, every thought that comes out of your brain, every attitude that comes forward, you are creating with it. And so if you want to become a master manifester, you have to manage that mind of yours. And so let us turn within, and I'm going to speak a word for and about for each one of us to call forth your dreams, your aspirations, your intentions. We simply start at the beginning. So we do a 5-step affirmative prayer. Step 1 is to recognize that we are not the creator of all that is, that there is a power and a presence for good. You can call it any name you want to, but it is the master architect behind everything. It is out of which all has come. When we say that God is everywhere, we mean everywhere. When we say that there is no spot where God is not, we mean no spot where God is not. No rock, no tree, no circumstance, no person. That each one of us imbued fully with the divine presence. And as this is true, then it must be true that right where I am, love abides. Right where I am, calm, peace, joy abides. I am the thing itself. The thing itself is me. So we are not separate from our good. We are connected intimately to that which created us. We are one. God and I are one. Life and I are one. The quantum field of unlimited possibilities and I are one. And so it is from that space of connection and unity and community that I speak my word for and about each person on this streaming tonight, or within the sound of my voice, simply calling forth the truth of your being, which you are already transformed. Transformation is already in your bones. It's in your DNA. It's your pathway to freedom. And so I know that wherever you are, that the yes is emerging, inviting more, inviting more, inviting more. That just say, life, I am willing to be different. I am willing to be better. I am willing to be free. I'm willing to be loving. I'm willing to be abundant. I'm willing to be healthy. Just speak it. And then allow for the intelligence that rotates planets and grows flowers. Trust that that intelligence knows how to make you more loving, because it does. And so I affirm with each person that we block and let go of any resistance, any fear, any obstruction or blockage we would put in front of us that would block us from becoming the more of who we are meant to be. That we move forward with fearless anticipation, with 20 seconds of insane courage, with a willingness to just express as big and as loud and as much as we can in this moment, and the rest will follow. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful to come together with like-minded people who, like-minded meaning, interested in change, interested in growth, interested in transformation, interested in a loving planet, interested in a healthy body, interested in happiness, interested. So we come out of the fear, we come out of the worry, doubt, and fear that is rampant in this world that we live in. And we anchor a peace that passes all human understanding. And we do this together knowing that anchoring peace brings peace. And so I'm grateful to each one of you, sending you my love, my prayers, my light, knowing that something moves for you this week. And I can't wait to hear about it. And so for all of this and so much more than my words can say, we are grateful. We allow this time to be. And we just simply anchor it together for ourselves and each other by saying, and so it is. Amen. Amen. All right. So hi, Jan Jennings. I do see you there. Oh, and so all of you, thank you so much. Hopefully I'll see some of you tomorrow night on Zoom. And otherwise, have a wonderful week. And I look forward to seeing you next Sunday. Okay. Peace and blessings.